Iron Bill back again with another video. It's kind of late at night. I just got off of a Saturday night session. It is 11:48 my time, Eastern Standard Time, and yeah, I just wanted to put this video out. I've not had a time to actually go through this video point by point to break it down play by play, but it's still rather fresh in the memory. A lot of good play tonight, and I feel sorry for the teams that we faced because, as I joked in the matches themselves, it was like clubbing baby harp seals at times, and I always feel sorry for people when that happens to them. As fun as it is for us, it's just as unfun for them, I would assume. So sorry to anyone watching that we may have faced. We did steamroll for quite a bit. We did have, a few close matches though, and this is one of them. And this one wound up being pretty chaotic, if I recall correctly. And you know, I want to digress just a little bit, and this is something that I've thought about talking about before, and I think this is a pretty good opportunity because my playing improved today for a couple of reasons. I've been trying to wedge myself into a 120 hand cannon shotgun combo, which is good in the right hands. I'm not experienced enough though, and though I'm improving, it's going to take some time to actually get comfortable with it. I mean, really comfortable. But I got a really nice roll on a time-worn Spire. It's really high in handling and stability, and I put a counterbalance stock on it, and it's basically a laser beam, and it plays a lot like it would on mouse and keyboard, so it's very, very reliable, and I'm doing very well with that. But there's more. I came from a flight sim background. I know this is where people yawn and say, we don't care, Bill, don't talk about flight sims, but there are actually some commonalities in all combat games, simulations, shooters, what have you, and movement is really key in all of it. In flight sims, what happens with new people, and it's very predictable, is that if they get into a fight, like if you fire on them, they'll start turning, they'll do a flat circle. Well, it's easy to defeat a flat circle if you know what to do. And if somebody's doing this, what you do is you take your aircraft up, roll it upside down, and come back down on top of them, and you can drop in behind them. So you go vertical. The application here is obvious. If you're running around and your feet are always on the ground, for instance, and you never look up, or if you don't use a vertical component like bait a doorway, jump over the doorway so that you can come down with the shotgun, simple things like that. You know, if all you ever do is the flat circle, of course you're going to get pounded all the time. And I have to remember as a player to not just, you know, get into the same old habit and do the same old thing regardless of whichever weapon I happen to have. This time-worn Spire works well from about medium range. You can reach a little bit, but the drop-off is noticeable, but it's so steady that it can fool people into believing that, you know, you really can't hit them. and it does, especially if you play with your teammate. And, you know, the flight sim analogy to that, of course, is play with the wingman. I mean, have somebody to cover you, and you should cover the other person as well, and things will improve. So I think about that a lot when I'm playing here. And one more similarity. In flight sims, energy is life. And what that means is you need to keep a constant speed up. As much as you can keep your speed up, as much as you can keep moving, you want to do that. So even if you're going to go vertical, you do that in a way where you don't deflect your controls so much that you actually create a lot of drag and slow yourself down or lose energy. Because the whole goal is to get above someone. When you get above somebody in a flight sim, you rule the fight. And that's it. It's the beginning and the end. Here, if you have good positioning and you have good movement and you have a good flow, it's hard for people to predict where you're going to be, and it makes you a harder target to kill. So a lot of parallels there. Anyway, with that prequel in place, and I hope that didn't bore you too much, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is Cauldron, and this team, we faced them a couple of times, and they were a chaotic team. I don't know if they, I won't know until I see this. Whether or not they were actually a squad of some kind, or whether they were just randoms that played well together. But they were game, I'll just say that. And they created a lot of problems for us. So this hunter was very confident. He jumped up here. Now, I made the mistake and made myself a target right away. And essentially, I had jumped in there alone. Now, I don't think Irish could see him. I mean, you can see Irish up there. And I was calling him out. I said, Irish, look around. But, you know, that's on me. I jumped into something I probably shouldn't have. And, you know, I had the low ground. That guy could just jump over my head. Kind of what I'm talking about here. Now, again, he's playing a good angle there. And they're shooting us from 2 doors. Actually, 3. They're shooting from C, they're shooting from A, and they're shooting from low on the outside. Now, I'm baiting over the door there, trying to get him to come in. But there are just too many in. Now, that was a conscious decision on my part. I knew I would probably die, but if you know, I tend to play too timidly. I tend to play too far back. And tonight I was just like, you know, I'm going to, occasionally at least, I'm going to push. And I'm not going to play so timid. And come what may, I mean, what happens? We lose a match. That was a good sniper there, by the way. That guy was really good at that far future. And it looked like things were going to go really kind of bad for us. And yeah. I should have backed out of that, but you know what? I helped my team. Okay, 2 of the guys come out of there, but we managed to pull a couple of them down, you know, for me. So that's actually okay. All right, so I need to make sure, and I hate those wells because I can't see through them. And oftentimes somebody will shoot right through it and nail me. And I'm too high there, but I got him. Or somebody, I got a piece of him anyway. Irish boy finished him. Shotgunning is starting to feel a lot more comfortable to me. And I know a lot of you take it for granted that shotguns are easy to use. And you know, a Felwinter's, you know, can you believe I got out of that? Felwinter's has 1-hit kill potential, which is why I like to use it, which is why everyone likes to use it, obviously. And it's becoming more consistent with me because I'm developing the muscle memory to be able to put the shot where I need to put it without having to actually aim down sights for a long time. It's just flick and boom. And that only comes with time. Now they're beginning to push away from us a little bit, and I think they might even wind up with a triple cap. But I'm running high intellect, and I'm running GeoMags. I've got this guy under me, but I'm trying to clear off that zone. My teammates are dealing with the other fellow. So that actually worked out pretty well for me personally and for us. But they're 12 points up. And we've got to start taking zones. And I think that's what Irish is saying at this point in time. We've got to start getting some zones here or we're going to get toasted. And I'm following the super there for some orbs. I see that the orb hit the ground over there. But I'm trying to get the zone. There's 1. There's 2. And I think, yeah, okay, that worked out pretty well. Got an orb for it. Let's see. Oh, got a guy behind me, and I'm not going to get away from that. But he chased me into the zone, and we're tied. We managed a triple cap there, and I will say that our guys were playing pretty well. I mean, there was some, hey, no one's helped me over here every now and then, but for the most part, you know, if you look at the map, you know, our green tends to support the other green. Yeah, he's not going to get away. And he was a game hunter. Now, how I missed that? Oh, I didn't miss it. Okay. Got smashed by that guy, though. All right. You know, as of today, really the last couple of days, I've gotten more into that that zone of 15-ish kills, a little higher, a little lower here and there, depending upon how long the match goes. He was just quicker. It was the right idea. He was actually cleaning up on us a slide shotgun. I think it might have been a bit of lag on one of our parts, though, because it didn't feel like I was that far behind him. Anyway, I'm playing better, and some of it, of course, is getting into a more natural combination. I'm just better with pulse rifles, and I got a really good one here. The Time Worn is just a superb pulse rifle, and it's not better than an igneous hammer, and somebody who's good with a hammer, obviously, can clean up on you, and that's me hard scoping. And they've taken the lead again because they took all of our zones. Back and forth. Honestly, this is when PvP is at its best, when teams are more or less evenly matched. I don't feel like we're getting totally owned, and we're definitely not totally owning them. So it's going to be, you know, who plays best in the end. And I should have just been on the shotgun at that point, but did manage to kill him, and that's tragic for him. Alright. Yeah, I got to get out of there or I'm dead. And I know it. He's got me suppressed somewhat. He comes back. I can re-engage. What I noticed about this team and commented at the time was that if you sat still for any length of time, they were going to get you. And you see how isolated I am here, but I'm trying to protect the zone because we honestly need to keep zones at this point. Okay, that's that crazy hunter again. And I'm not going to let him get away. I'm not going to let this guy get away either. Thought my melee would do more damage to him than it did. I was a little bit surprised by that. Alright, so we've got the lockout, and it's looking like we've got this locked up, but you can just never tell. And there it is. That to me was chaos. It felt like chaos, and I think somebody else commented on that too, especially around the B area there. And that one hunter, man, he just went at it, you know, full on. So this is how it went. And look at the spread. I mean, we actually, as a team, did pretty well. Irish, of course, slayed out. T-Raw, too. Dutch looked pretty good there. And I had a good one. Now, in Dog's defense, and Frank, too, I think they were both trying to snipe. Our guys were experimenting with things tonight. And, you know, so ordinarily, you'd see these guys way above me. I'd be the firm bottom on this. Maybe Dutch and I would be near the bottom, and the rest of these guys would just be fighting it out for who's the best on the top. So taking nothing away from anyone else here. It was a good night, you know, for all of us. And once again, we probably won 80% of the matches we did, and we played for hours. So, yeah, it was a good time. So, I want to thank the guys for playing, and I want to thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope I didn't ramble too much on the front end, but it is kind of amazing to me just how similar multiplayer games are, even if they are completely different genres. There are some concepts that cut through. So hope you learned something. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Iron Bill, and I'm signing out.